guys, this is Gayatri Negi and I'm an intern in LEXIS and Company and you're watching LEXCLIQ. In this video, I will talk about vendor agreement. What is a vendor agreement? What are its benefits? What are the key clauses that are to be mentioned in a vendor agreement? I will discuss all these things. So what is a vendor agreement? In a vendor agreement, a person who gives services and goods to a person or the owner of a business or a company so that they can conduct their commercial operation, which is their business in exchange for payment. An agreement made between a business owner and a vendor or a service provider for the supply of product or and services is known as a vendor agreement. And this agreement addresses the extent of the services to be rendered, its timing or duration, its price or cost, and the parties' respective responsibilities. These basic things are covered in a vendor agreement. What is the benefit of signing a vendor agreement? First, it reduces obligation because the rights and obligations of all parties are expressly stated in the vendor contract. There is less chance of future lawsuits. It is process detailed. It is possible to customize a vendor contract to provide a precise job description for the vendor. Additionally, the vendor must specify the amount, comfort and amenities that they desire, as well as their preferred method of payment. It enhances effectiveness. A vendor agreement mentions the security procedures, financial information, other crucial facts that are necessary for a smooth running of the business. A vendor security detection and mitigation. A vendor agreement mentions a detailed rule book, kind of explanation of obligations, laws and regulations, as well as accurate identification of the vendor risk which can be avoided. What are the essentials? What is the procedure for preparing a vendor agreement? To create a vendor agreement, both parties must prepare the vendor agreement to include all necessary elements. As one vendor agreement document is completed, it should be verified and signed by both the parties. What are important clauses of a vendor agreement? First is commodities and services. The vendor agreement should detail the kind, quality and quantity of products obtained from the vendor. If you're buying raw materials from them for your firm, similarly to this, if you are using a vendor for services, the agreement must specify the kind of services you will need. It should also state the criteria by which the vendor will provide the service. Second, it is payment. The provision outlines how the vendor will be compensated for the services and products. The pay structure should include the total amount due, the due date and details regarding an advance payment made by your company. Then duration, obviously the length of your contractual relationship with the vendor or the period during which they will offer the services or send you items must be laid forth in the vendor agreement. Then the warranty. The vendor agreement must include any warranty claims the vendor had committed to offer to your company. The warranty covers things like your right to monopoly as a customer, offer a specific good or services, protection against intellectual property, infringement assurances, and that the vendor will be able to provide the services or commodities and more. Then liabilities must be mentioned. The vendors and one's liability are stated in the liability clause. Then resolution of dispute, that is a must I think clause of every agreement, that how in a case of any dispute, if it arises, how it will be dissolved, how it will be resolved. It must be specified in the vendor agreement as well. What are the key clauses of agreement? First, name the product. You need to name the product and services that will be offered, the payment method, how to bill a vendor, how a customer will get information about accounts payable. Without a statement of work, a vendor agreement is said to be null and void. It needs to mention the statement of work. Legal prerequisites: the vendor cannot receive an employment benefit because they are not an employee. The supplier works as a sole proprietor. Conditions of terminations must be mentioned. Conditions for attorney, payment of fee or repayment. So these all are things that need to be mentioned in a vendor agreement. So this was all about a vendor agreement from my side. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching.